Can't get right until I feel ya.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just waiting for us to get Miss Yagetta on the phone. Hopefully, I'm saying on the phone. On the live, she's trying to get in. I did send her a link. Um, Hopefully, this don't be distasteful to others. I don't mean no disrespect to nobody or nothing like that. I did make sure that the questions that I was gonna ask is gonna respect both families at the same time. Um, which because this is something that affects the community, and I'm quite sure we'd like to hear from both sides of the family. The other family is more than welcome to come and stuff like that. So just waiting to see. So just waiting for Miss Yagetta to get on here. Like I state, while she's on here, I definitely want to give my deepest condolences to everyone affected. I think I got her here. Let's make sure. Yes. Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm great. Before I start, I just want to express my condolences to everyone affected by these tragedies. As someone who has lost a son to gun violence, this kind of makes me nervous. This one,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand the pain that comes with such a loss. I acknowledge everybody personal things. So we got gonna take it. I check into that, Jay. We're gonna see. So before we start, I want you to introduce yourself.
My name is Yagetta Dickerson. I am Joseph Thomas's mother.
And I'm gonna
She
start off with probably kind of help you probably navigate because I know, especially dealing with this situation, um, it's kind of hard to when you want to put everything in words.
yes,
But
ma'am.
this probably some of the questions that I would may have asked if I was in the same position. Do you think Joseph is being falsely accused?
I know absolutely 100%, ma'am, that Joseph is innocent. They have the wrong person. I tried to tell them this yesterday. I look a mess today because I have been everywhere trying to find someone to listen to me. I was out there. And although Joseph did go to the trail, this was after shots were fired, ma'am. This is a circumstance of my son being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I asked so many questions because not knowing a lot about this and knowing a little bit that when you shoot a gun, I know there's residue on your hand. So I asked this today. Open and shut. Test him. Once you test him and you see he has nothing, that's it. He wasn't tested. They ran out of tests.
They ran out of tests.
Yes, ma'am. This is what I was told
So they didn't
by
have
the
none at the sheriff department. They didn't have none at Lafayette Police Department. They didn't have none at the state police department. They didn't have nowhere. No police nearby could have brought them a test that they could have used.
especially under these circumstances. I would think they would have went to the extreme to get a test, especially if you have several people saying that he was in the restroom. You got to understand that the situation was, the question is, what brought them outside? And what brought them outside was the gunfire. There was no shots fired, and I tried to tell them that after they came outside. He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he didn't arrive there till after shots were fired.
I see they stating that they got a full, blown confession out of him, and
Yes,
not a
ma'am.
verbal confession. From my understanding, it's a written confession.
Yes, ma'am. Joseph is 18 years old. He just made 18. When he left from here, it was about 5, 6 o'clock when they took everybody. When they returned, it was 10 o'clock at night. So that means they interrogated my son for over 3 to 4 hours. And the only thing he kept telling me was, Mama, they wouldn't listen to me. I told him I wasn't there. It wasn't me. Because all their phone calls are recorded. And this is what
Okay.
he told me.
Okay. So he
But
told you that he let them know that it wasn't him.
yes, ma'am.
Um, they interrogated him for hours. Um, and being that his interrogation or whatnot. So when they interrogate you, you think they should have from the time that they arrest him, it should be on body cam,
Right.
to the time that he has given his written confession. All that should be on video, and
Yes,
all
ma'am. It
that
should.
should be on audio.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am. He has panic attacks. Every time.
that was going to be my next question. Do he suffer with any type of mental illness?
Yes, ma'am. He has panic attacks every time a police officer is around because what has happened to him in the past.
Have he been legally diagnosed?
No,
With
ma'am, but
that?
he has been to the hospital several times for that situation.
Okay.
And I'm saying all this to say this right here. I've never done anything like this before. I don't have a Facebook page, but what time is better than the present to use something like this to speak out for my son? Because if I just leave it the way it is, he's getting framed for something he did not do. No one can be in two places at one time. No one.
That is true. I
Shots
totally
were
agree.
fired. Yes, shots were fired. But he didn't leave out the house till after shots were fired. That's what brought everyone outside. I was already outside. I tried to tell them this.
So, um, being that you stated that you were outside, do you know who did it?
No, ma'am, I don't. There is a big field, and the grass is so overgrown in the trail that they were in that all you could see is heads. A lot of heads. You couldn't see actual figures, couldn't see bodies, just heads. And you could hear the movement through the trees. But as fast as you hear the movement, that's as fast as you heard the gunshots.
Did you see anyone leaving from the scene, running from the scene? Um, Anything, or maybe me asking you that question, if you did see anything, by you thinking you possibly speaking up, it puts your life in danger?
That's an iffy question because just me sitting here saying that he didn't do it and he got charged with it, it is a iffy thing. Like I'm terrified regardless because regardless of the fact, it seems like the shots were coming this way and I was standing outside. I mean, I could have got hit.
Um, how have your family been processing what's happening?
There's no way to process this. It's no way to process it. This is a 18-year-old humble giant, and the weakest link was taken advantage of because he knows, I know, God knows that was not him. Couldn't
Um,
be. He was in the restroom.
Also, they one person is deceased. The other person has made it. They're
Yes,
not in critical condition. They are able to speak, talk, and tell. So, do you think that they identified their shooter?
no, ma'am, because the accused shooter is my son. So, no, ma'am, they did not identify the shooter because Joseph was not the shooter.
And I'm quite sure, just like I have been in a situation, the tragedy has deeply affected the family of the man who lost
Have mercy.
his
Yes, ma'am.
life.
Yes, ma'am.
What message do you have for those grieving such a devastating loss, the one that's in the hospital in
My
the
heart goes out.
condition that you may
My
be
heart goes
in?
out to him. My faith is strong, the strongest, and just lean on God because regardless of not if you believe in justice, I believe in God. And if they lean on him, they're going to give them the strength that they need, just like he's going to give me the strength that me and my family needs because Joseph wasn't it, ma'am. He wasn't. He wasn't, and I can say it over and over and over and over again. And I asked them, what are they gonna do when they realize and come to the conclusion and all their investigation and all their processing and tests are done when it wasn't him.
Were
Because
they
10 minutes
friends?
in there was too long for him. 10 minutes was too long.
Did he know them? Do he know of them? Have they ever been in the same facility together? Um, and of all people, why would they just choose him?
Because he was out there. He was seen out there, which not just him was seen out there. When you hear something like that, ma'am, everybody comes outside. When you hear foul, 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 you're gonna go look to see what is going on. I mean, I know around this time a lot of firecrackers are being popped, and so you run in to see. But in the neighborhood I stay in, it's a lot of gunfire, and it's
Okay.
scary.
Another thing that was stated, the gun was found. Do Joseph live with you
Yes, ma'am, he does.
inside your home?
Yes, ma'am. A
So
gun.
how did the guns? I'm gonna be very caring. I'm
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
be transparent because I want real,
Yes, ma'am.
and I'm only going on what I see.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not the one that's actually in the situation, but was told was the gun that was used was found inside your home.
Yes, ma'am. That's what they said. But I promise you, the gun that was found was not the gun that was used for that. Absolutely not. And they're going to see that when they test it. They're going to see that. And that's why I asked them so many times, how long does the processing of that take? Since you didn't do the gunpowder on his hand test because they didn't have any.
Because
The
we don't want
process
nobody
of
to
the
go to jail.
firearm found will tell it all.
So they said from what I seen in the news, and it could be wrong, it was 3 different
Yes,
guns
ma'am.
found
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
home.
Yes, ma'am. It was 3 different guns. And I promise you, none of those guns had anything to do with that.
It looked like I seen one of the families that's involved that it seemed a fuss took place from what I seen. She looked like she posted. Let me go back and make sure that I understood and I read it correctly. Because let's see, she stated that just because you dislike a person or have a disagreement with someone doesn't give you the right to take someone's life. These young boys are lost, throwing their life away because y'all want to seem hard. For what? Just to go to prison? Ain't no guns in prison. Blaze didn't deserve to be killed. He was a little child. I ain't gonna say the word she said. Already dealing with enough. And her nephew didn't deserve to be shot either. They wasn't bothering nobody. My nephew literally just left the funeral home from viewing his brother's body and was shot moments later. Yeah, I got some flowers. Oh, thank you. Huh? Thanks. He must not want me to go. Sorry about that. I wasn't expecting that. I'm so sorry. I was not expecting it. But basically, that's what she said.
That a fuss took place, but it wasn't with him. You see, the situations that are being intertwined and mixed up to, but it wasn't him that was in the argument. It's just a lot.
I would be naive to think, being honest and transparent, you know something.
Do I know
Yeah, and
something?
no, I'm gonna get it out so you can answer it in its entirety.
Okay,
You know something, and it possibly may not be your child. Sounds like it may possibly not be. We was not there,
it's not.
but it also sound, and I'm gonna be honest, you protecting somebody too.
I'm not because I don't know not one of those little guys. Nobody that was in that field firing, I know. I've never seen those young guys until that day. Honestly, I had never seen those guys before.
So
Now
he
my
didn't
husband
even
can
know
tell.
them.
No,
Joseph
ma'am,
didn't even know
I
them.
didn't know them. I've never seen them before.
Do he know them?
You see, that's a question I couldn't ask because everything happened so fast, and it was like so much chaos in such a little bit of time, and everybody got stood outside, and it just was them talking to me, and it just was a lot. So I hadn't talked to him about those guys at all. I don't even know if he knows them, but they're all around the same age. So I figured they're in the neighborhood, all around the same age. They must live around here somewhere, or maybe not. I don't. That's how in the blind with that I am. But the one thing I do know is that he wasn't the shooter. He couldn't have been. He was in the bathroom. And I just asked them over and over and over again today to please take TLC. Well, not just this investigation, but every investigation. But because I know my son is innocent and he don't deserve to be there,
What does justice look like for you and your family at this moment?
letting my son free because he didn't kill anybody. And I'm sorry if I'm not giving more, but right now, my heart and mind is so heavy and
I
so
can,
strained,
yeah, I can only imagine,
especially because I know where he was and I know where he is now. And someone has passed, and it's just too much violence. And now an innocent person is in jail for something he did not do, man. I can't go past that. That is so hard to digest right now as a mother.
So, what would you like the community to learn from this tragedy?
That even the innocent can get framed. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time does not make you guilty.
Is there anything that you'd like to share with someone that's grieving?
Besides, keep their faith and trust in God because He is the only thing that can get us all through everything. My faith is strong, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. I want to make sure ask you if it's something that I didn't ask you that you possibly want to share. We're gonna stay on top of the story. I'm definitely gonna stay on top of it. As I hear things, did they tell you? I know by me going through the process,
Yes.
does take a moment, and it depends on how many cases that they have and ready to go to trial. Um, Possibly if he asked for a speedy one. Um, I don't know who's his lawyer, if they're assigning one. Has he been to 72-hour court?
No, ma'am.
Um, so he's going to go to 72-hour court when
Next week.
he's going to go to court. So he got picked up. He should have already went to 72-hour court.
He didn't.
He got picked up on what day? That was,
Yesterday.
oh, he just got picked up on yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
So today is Friday. So he's gonna go to court Monday. So that kind of makes it very difficult
Yes, ma'am.
to try to. Soon as he's gonna go to court, they're gonna assign him, try to assign to somebody for you to tell him to try to go and test his hands. I did hear, and I wouldn't be candid with the community, that, and it's just my transparency, being transparent with you, since you gave me an interview, and I thank you and I appreciate you for it, that they did find gun residue on the person that's in the hospital hands.
They just need to
No
slow
one
down.
knows that I know this, but being that you gave me um, your interview, I'm gonna be honest.
Yes, ma'am.
Because one thing about it, I'm always for justice. I
And
know that family. I know them, I don't know you, this is my first time meeting, but I'm always fair across the board. I go to school for this, and my main thing is for justice, is for innocent people won't be incarcerated. I
yes, ma'am.
can't say if he innocent or not, but he in the laws, in the eyes of the law, he's innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, I hope that the real truth come out. I don't know the truth. If I knew, I say it. It doesn't bother me to say whatever truth it is, but that is kind of something that I know. that I heard. I don't know if they had one. Maybe it was accidental. Probably went out. Who could tell? Did you? May I ask you? Did you see how many people possibly was in the field? Was it more than two?
It was more than two. It was more than three.
It was more than three.
Yes, ma'am. It was more than three. But the bushes are so thick that you can only
Daddy,
see
tell
and
him put that
hear.
low a little bit. So YouTube might copyright me.
But the one
You
thing
fine.
I know
You
for
good?
sure, the one thing I know for
No,
sure
I'm telling
is
her
Joseph
she's good.
wasn't the shooter.
Yeah, people, I don't know if you can read the screen as I'm putting up, but we have everyone saying in the comments, somebody told you keep your faith prayers for the lost and stuff like that because it'll be a tragedy. I don't want nobody just to say, "Oh, we got a case, we closed," because most times people that are innocent and then serve, we see it times and times again that it does happen. So it ain't
Yes.
like it can't happen. You know what I'm
But
saying? So
it
it's not
doesn't
like it's
affect till it hits you. You know, you don't
unbelievable.
expect nothing like that to hit you. And you hear about it and you just think about it and then it passes your mind, but it's a whole different feeling.
And it's most of the people that doesn't have the financial finances to be able to fight it. I hope
Absolutely.
that you are being heard. Trust me, this is gonna be shared. People gonna talk, even if they ain't here, they're gonna come here later. They're gonna talk about it. Somebody gonna share it in somebody inbox. We want to seek justice for Blaze. That's
Yes.
the young man that died. We want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
seek justice for Joseph.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
want to seek justice for the other son that her other son, another male that's in the hospital. So we definitely want to make sure that they get the right person and they have it. I another thing that kind of baffles me, I'm not giving a confession. I don't care how many hours they have me in there. I'm gonna stand on my truth. Do you know any reason he didn't stand on his truth?
Yes,
Did
ma'am.
he tell you what did he say?
I absolutely do. After being told over and over and over again that it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, and then hours passed and you in the room and then you already get panic attacks and you already have anxieties about the police and that's a whole nother issue that I have. What in the world would make him confess to something he know he did not do? He know it, I know it, God know it. It wasn't him. And it's a struggle to deal with that, but I've never been on that side of it, so I don't understand. And he just made 18, so he's still green. I just it's many explanations that I can give, but I wasn't there with him.
Yeah, right, right. Because he not verbally confessed. He actually written down in details what happened.
Yes, ma'am, that's what they said.
And that's what, to write. I'm just, and I understand we all different. We don't know unless we were be in that situation. We wasn't in that room. We hope that, like everybody else do, that the police, you should ask them to release the body footage, or once the lawyer get it, you need to release the body footage. You need to release the statement given, because that has to be from the time they started this interview. So if they was pressuring him and they were intimidating him, if they were coercing him, that will all be on interview. See, I don't have their side, so I can't say, okay, this happened. but it will be on interview. What said, what happened. It should have from the time the law from the time, and it's gonna probably have different angles of body cameras. From the
Yes,
time
ma'am.
I approach you, or the time they approach you, it should be body cameras. To the
Right.
time that
And I don't, I can't say anything about what he was thinking or feeling or going through, but I do know this. There is no way he could be in two places at one time. No way.
he,
And
do
I
you
know
think
what
that
my
he
eyes saw.
know?
Ma'am,
Do you think he know? Because I know the original story allegedly that someone else had got picked up. I think it was he's the nephew of the original person that got picked up. Am I saying it correctly? He's related to the person that originally got picked up.
Joseph, my son,
Yes.
they took
He said,
everybody in my house, ma'am. Everybody, Miss Angel, except me. The one person who said that they were out there, I told them I was out there.
so everybody, so who are,
Most of
am
my
I,
family
is it
members,
okay?
they
Who
picked up
all
most
was
of my
there
family
then?
members were interrogated. Yes, ma'am. And everybody came back except him. But I do know my truth, and my truth is that I know he was in the bathroom when the shots were fired. So there's no way possible that he did the firing if what brought us out the house was the firing, was the shooting.
Another thing we was hearing in the community, which we don't know if it's true or not, that it kind of this incident is it any way related to um, the original incident of the boy that's in the hospital, his brother getting killed in their yard? Is it any way related to that?
Absolutely not. I don't know if those guys, what those guys were shooting about. They were shooting this way, and I know my son was in the bathroom. He didn't go outside till after shots were fired. We all went outside after shots were fired. I was already outside. I saw the movement in the trails. I just want them to slow down their investigation and investigate because they have the wrong one in jail.
Do y'all have cameras?
Yes, ma'am, and I played with them and played with them, but it was something with the SIM card they couldn't because they even tried. But the angle that happened at is a blind spot by the bushes.
Um, were they in a vehicle? Because we did hear also in the news that one person was privately brought to the hospital. So what vehicle brought him to the hospital?
I have no idea. I didn't know what was going on till police showed up. They had to tell me what was going on.
So when you seen the few people in the field, you heard the gunshots.
And I
You
ran.
didn't notice if anybody, or you ran back in the house.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
ran in the house. Okay. And when you ran in the house, that's when your son ran out the house. Was he
No,
coming to
he
check
didn't come.
on you?
Well, it happened after, right as I was coming in, they were coming out.
Okay. So you was outside,
I
and
was
as you were
outside.
re-entering your home, that's when you heard the gunshots as you was going back in the home.
No, ma'am. I heard the gunshots, and then I ran up the stairs in the house. As I was running in the house, my family members were coming
Coming
outside to
outside the
see
house
what the gun, what the shooting was.
and possibly knowing that you were outside.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I just went out there to get something.
Did you see any strange cars?
There's always strange cars. There's plenty traffic down this street. This is tough. This is tough, and the explanations for it are not making sense to me. I just want the world to know that it was not him.
All right, put it a little low. Somebody say this is a tough one because we all wasn't there. Denisha, the reason why I asked, did she know if someone tells me they're outside when the gunshots happen, she's seen the people in the field, I'm quite sure people looking too, me us not knowing until she just stated that she was actually going back into the home. She stated she was out there, the grass was tall, and she seen the people in the field. No, she could not identify who was in the field, but she seen. So it was like, would you have seen a car? Because sometimes, even though we can't see, we get a little peep, a glimpse if it's a green car, a blue car. It's certain things that we will be able to identify regardless. And sometimes we don't remember at that moment if we notice something strange. And sometimes it may come back a week or 2 or 3 weeks later, be like, oh, you know what? I forgot this little small detail that that could be significant to know. So it's not knowing saying who she know the name is to say, well, oh, somebody in a blue car may have brought him. We're not saying particular names because I know she not knowing she was going to be in this situation where her son would be accused of something that she's stating that he
Wrongfully
did not
accused.
do. Yeah, wrongfully accused for something that he did not do. So I know me as a mother, myself speaking, if I can stand firmly on something that I know that my son didn't do, I'm going to try to remember each and every detail that I can to be able to get it out there, to be heard, or be like, oh, well, I noticed when I was coming outside, I ain't noticed before. A blue car I never seen before because she did state that she never seen these boys before. That was her first time ever seeing them. So I know in my neighborhood, if I see a strange car, we basically you know who lives in your neighborhood most times.
I
You
can
excellent.
definitely say I can stand on this. I know shots were fired. As I was coming in the house, I know my son was in the bathroom because my daughter said, hey, I don't know. She said he left out of here so fast, I don't even know if he wiped himself. There was no way he could be over there shooting if he was in the bathroom. And that I can stand on. And nobody can tell me that he was over there when I know he was
So
in the
you
bathroom.
don't know directly that he was in the bathroom because you were outside. You
Right.
know
But as I was
through
coming in, my
hearsay.
daughter
You know
said,
through yeah, that's called hearsay. I'm just telling you what the facts and the legal terms for it. I don't want to not tell you the truth.
right, but I
I
know
don't
he was
want
in
to.
my house. I know he
Yeah, you
wasn't
know he
over
was
there.
at home. You know he
Yes,
was in
ma'am.
the house where exactly positioned in the home. You heard through here say that your daughter by her, and that's what gonna he left out so fast. I don't even know if he wiped himself. That would
And that's
assume
exactly how I
okay,
got
he's in the
said.
yeah, he would be coming. He must have was in the bathroom then.
But I know he was inside my house. And there's no way he could be over there if I heard shots when I was outside. The shots happened before I even entered it back into the house. I know my son didn't do it. I know my son didn't do it. There's no way he could have. And this is a lot. And it's hard. And it's, I don't want to say testy, but just shows that when you try to stay focused and faithful, it's always something. Because if I was out there doing wrong and create mischief,
I'ma also piggyback on you just said as well that they were coming outside, and now you stated that the daughter said that he left out so fast he didn't wipe himself, but you said they were all coming outside together as you were coming in.
yes, ma'am, he was the last one out. He was the last one out. But shots were already fired. And once my family got outside, there was no more shots fired.
Okay,
And they can
so
twist it and turn it and flip it and wrap it up into a ball. But the fact is that Frankie Joseph was not out there. I call him Frankie.
it seems like she probably got a call, y'all. So she probably got a call or whatnot. Normally, that's what happens when the screen go black. That person normally gets a call. Um, Cause I have to. I'm just one real. I'm not gonna not listen to the details. And I'm listening to the details, and I'm want to ask all the questions that anybody else was gonna ask. Anybody else that's gonna go back and look at this interview and watch this interview, and they're gonna say that, well, she said this and she said that. So I want to make sure we clarify what's being said, because just as I'm the person listening who wasn't there, and she stated where this person said, oh, they ran out so quickly and stuff like that. Indirectly, this is Praise My City, this is not us. Yes, that way you said it run out so quickly or whatnot like that. You know how they say they run out so quickly. So I'm gonna ask the question that people can ask. If I'm not asking questions that y'all wanna
I'm
ask,
sorry.
that y'all think need
I
to
was
ask,
lost.
yeah, gotta. Oh, okay. If I'm not asking questions that somebody want to
I
ask,
still
let
can't
me.
hear.
You can. You able to? You'll probably have to come out or check your mute button, see if it's on mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I
You can
can
hear
hear
me?
you. Yes.
Yeah, I can't hear you. I'm so
Um.
uncomputer savvy.
You're fine. You'll probably have to um
I can't hear
come
one
out.
word. I'm so computer illiterate. See if I can
Can
get
you read
somebody to
this?
help me.
Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna put something in the thing.
It's my charger. Who broke it?
I have to get out and come back.
I don't know how to come back.
See if I can.
What happened?
I don't know. It just stopped. I can't hear her.
Let me see.
While we waiting for her to come back in, if it's some questions that y'all think should be asked that I didn't ask, that maybe I didn't hear, or maybe I misunderstood, please drop those questions in the comments. Make sure y'all sharing the live on y'all page, sharing the interview. Let's see.
Oh,
What about now? Are you able to hear now?
I can hear you just fine now. I'm so
Okay, sometimes
computer
that happens.
savvy.
It's okay. It's okay. We all learning. I was trying to see if anybody else in the comments probably had some questions um, to ask. I don't see anything. Some people probably just tuning in. If anybody have any questions to ask Miss Yagetta, I said your name right, Yagetta?
You get it, yes, ma'am.
Okay. That we maybe miss? Is it something that we didn't ask you that you need to tell to be able to get out there? Whatever it is that you think we need to know. I know some things you may not be able to speak on, but what you think that we need to know to better help you and Joseph.
The
And
only
the,
I need everyone to know is that they have the wrong person, ma'am. They have the wrong person, and he
what
don't
kind of
respect.
person is Joseph? Like thoughtful,
Very,
like that
very
type. When I
closed.
ask,
Very, very closed. Very, very quiet. Um, because he just made 18 to say it in a
has he
nutshell.
had? Do he have a
He,
legal past?
I'm sorry.
Do he have a legal past?
No, ma'am, he doesn't. He he got into one fight at school and got sent to the police program, and he actually graduated from that program. He was into the boxing, and that's about it. He was a homebody. He wouldn't go out there in the street or go walk the street. He was a homebody. That's what make it so bad.
Okay. Someone said first the story was a little shaky, but then when you started saying your son was inside, so 50-50, how they feel about it, definitely justice will get served. One person says how the police didn't question the one person that was outside.
I accept. I told the
Do
chief
you
of police I was
think they have
outside.
other video surveillance? They
I
have other
doubt it.
video
I doubt it.
surveillance?
I doubt it because if
Someone
they
from
did,
someone else?
they would know that my son wasn't him. If they had any video surveillance, they would know that it wasn't him.
That's gonna weigh heavy on the city heart. Cause
And
we
you know
got
what?
one family grieving
I thought a
and got
lot about
another
this
family.
before I did this. I thought a lot about this before I did this. But if I don't fight for my son, who gonna fight for
As
him?
you should.
When I know it wasn't him. If I don't fight for him, who gonna fight for him? Especially
And don't stop.
knowing that there's no way possible that it was him. I'm gonna fight for him with every breath in my body because everybody who knows him know he ain't built like that, ma'am. He's not. That's not his character. That's not who he is. That's not how he was raised. And I know you don't know me from a can of paint, but that says a lot if you don't know me. Because not out, I don't go anywhere. I go to work and home. So how would you know me? My family still eat and pray together. I, I'm full with grief, anger, and a lot of confusion. And
Normally,
trying
I know
to get
for a fact he wrong. Hold on, this person think he coming off. Let's see. I know for a fact if he wrong, and he would, and she would say something. If he right, she would fight. That's what Miss Katrina said. A person said a mother love.
this
Justice,
is way
I know
more than
justice will
love.
prevail.
This is way more than a
Justice
mother's
going
love, because a mother's love would just take up for her son. I know he wasn't there. I know there's no way he could be in two places at one time. That's what and it's like a cry out to the world to believe me. But don't believe me. Do what you have to do to make sure. And the wanting to people to know that this wasn't easy to do. But if I don't do it, who gonna do
and we only hear one side.
it? Absolutely.
So I thank you for the interview. Um, hopefully, with the interview being that, because I'm just a very direct and honest person. I don't mean anything by it. I'm just gonna ask the
Yes,
questions
ma'am.
that anybody would ask, and if you was on, the other side, because when we do give interviews and when people do say things, words can get twisted, and one person may hear it one way and the other person may hear it a different way,
Yes,
and it can be misconstrued. So I just wanted to make sure, because most time when we trying to remember things, and especially when it's traumatic, we're trying to remember everything while it's fresh. So that's why I asked when you said it, he ran out so fast that he didn't have time to wipe himself. Obviously that was like, dang, the sister must have had a conversation with, how can they accuse my brother? He ran out so fast, he didn't wipe himself. So that's when you figure, oh, I know he was in the house, but he was actually
right.
in the bathroom in the house. So
Mhm.
I get what you're saying, but sometimes I have to interpret it for others to understand why it said that way and how you came about to say it that way. Because they'll probably think, well, and that's why I said it like someone would think.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
she just said that
No,
he ran. You know what I'm
but
saying? He just said
yes,
he ran out so fast, but it all coming well. What he was, I know he was in the house. He wasn't outside. I was outside. My
right.
child. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna ask, well, what he was not. So don't want you to think that is
No,
anything
ma'am,
to you.
absolutely not. I know he was inside of my house. And I do thank you. Thank you
Oh,
for
you're
being
welcome. I don't
because
mind. And it
first.
probably be a distaste in the other people mouths, like that, and especially because I know, being that I done went through the situation, and the first thing people gonna say, but how would you feel if somebody that interview, this is the world, and if a person saying that their son is innocent, then we
Screaming
know.
he innocent. Screaming
Yes,
he's innocent.
screaming, the mother screaming he innocent or whatever. Cause like I feel, and I'm just gonna give my wholeheartedly information by after listening to you and getting your side as well, that if he would have did it, you would have, if it was self-defense, you would have said, well, they were fussing, it was self-defense, so it was an accident. But you can't understand, it's not even a self-defense, it's not even an accident. He was nowhere around it. They just really have the wrong person.
Yes, ma'am.
So
There. Yes, ma'am. I thank you so very much
I want
for
to
your
thank you too
patience as
for
well
your
as the
time,
platform.
Miss Yetta. Miss, because your name is so unique. Is, let me get them out the scene and say it right. Yagetta. I want to thank you again for giving me the opportunity, for trusting me with your son's story, trusting me we're putting it out there. Um, if you need me again and new information, I'm the same way you contacted me. You're more than welcome. You can get anyone to contact. If I hear anything, people know I'm an update regardless. So you might hear it. I may not have time or I may inbox you. But if I hear something, like I stated, the one thing that I did hear, that they tested the boy in the hospital. So say allegedly, don't know how true that it is, but he did have gunpowder.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all share, get Miss Yagetta's story out about Joseph so we could get the truth. If anybody in the community seen anything, have cameras, please, we don't want someone that's innocent to be thrown away. He's a child. He's somebody's brother. He's somebody's son. He's somebody's nephew. So if we just have to do the right thing. We don't want someone incarcerated for the rest of their life because that is some charges that has been brought against
Heavy,
him,
heavy charges.
heavy charges. So, and all those, definitely second degree is life without parole. And we don't need nobody. He's 18. He doesn't know anything. He hasn't had lived his life or
Not at
anything
all.
like that. And if he is indeed, like Ms. Yagetta say, innocent, which in the law of the land and the eyes of the law right now, he truly is innocent until proven guilty.
This ain't
So
nothing
you
he's over.
enjoy, you stay blessed. You're welcome. Again, thank you too, because it does justice for me and for you. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate everything. Before we leave, someone said, I'm waiting for it to come up. Sweet blessings, Miss Yagetta. May justice be served. Prayers to both parties.
Yes. Thank you.
And you have a great day.
You too, honey.
I want to thank y'all. We want to thank Miss Yagetta for tuning in, telling her story. So we done heard both sides of the equation. You know, with me is always is this side is you always got one side, the next side, and then we're gonna meet in the middle with the truth. So we're gonna stay on top of this story because we need to know. We need to know. And if he is, we need to find who actually did this. We need to know. We need to know. We need to know. And we need OPD to be transparent with us. We need to have the body cams like every other place in the world releases the body cam footage. We need to have the interview like each person shows the interview. We need to have everything. Right now, in a situation, we have a mother fighting for her son. We know what we done heard that they got a confession. We need to make sure if he is innocent, we have to do what we have to do in the community. I know it'll probably tear nips and bones, and this is not a shot or a dart at the families of who are grieving at this time. They have my deepest condolences. But you have to as well think if that is your child and if you know he's innocent, we have to do what's right. I am for justice. I hope the cops didn't beat him. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything, but we're gonna fight for this. They stated that is nothing dealing with that. I did ask her that question, Jay. She stated that it has nothing to deal with that. Nothing. Nothing non-related. It's not even related. So it's not even a retaliation. It's non-related. We just need to know what happened, what truly happened. what happened. Well, peace out. I'm about to go finish enjoying with my family. If there's anything else, I don't know why they didn't check it for gunpowder. I truly don't know. That is a question. If they didn't check him for gunpowder, but I'm telling y'all, allegedly, they did check somebody for gunpowder. So we need to know the truth of what happened. We need to know the truth. We don't like to push no false narrative. You know, we love our receipts over here, and we love to report the raw and real. Yes, but she's saying her son is not related to, meaning Joseph has nothing to do with them still looking for who killed the original people. But we're gonna leave because the music with. So y'all enjoy y'all day. Happy Friday. Y'all seen I received some flowers on live. I was not expecting it. That's so thoughtful. So I'm gonna put it in my vase over my sink by my window. And enjoy my flowers. That was thoughtful of them. Very, very appreciative of it. Thank you guys. Tuning in to Life Angel Warren Real and to the next story. Then we're gonna keep. I have to stay on this story, but see you guys later.
I can't get right until I feel you.